Hi, it's Marieta. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I want to talk about the immigration reforms. Specifically, I want to focus on the employment-based immigration. So let's get started. What I will discuss is STEM graduates. We're going to address the visa backlogs. We're going to talk about eliminating employment-based per country levels, increased immigrant visas, flexible adjustment to employment-based immigrant visa program, also the pilot visa program, regional economic development immigrant visa pilot program, specifically it's called, wage-based consideration of temporary workers, clarifying dual intent, H4 visas. So let's get started, guys. Here is the actual text of the bill. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to be linking this below the video, so you guys go ahead, check it out if you wish. And by the way, for those who are new here, welcome guys, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell. If you don't know me, my name is Marieta Oslanec. I'm the founder of ImmigrationBiz, business immigration attorney. And let's get started, guys. Now, before I talk about the employment-based immigration, let's talk about very briefly about the EB visa lottery, because you guys keep asking this question. There is a proposed change, increase from 55,000 into 80,000 DV visas per year. So to answer your question, it's not 100,000 because I saw a comment, somebody posted a comment below my video. It's not 100,000, it's 80,000. Now let's talk about the subtitle D, reforming employment-based immigration. Now guys, I'm just going to give you the overview. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's a giant bill. If you wish, you can read it yourself. So let's talk about STEM graduate. So if you are STEM graduate, meaning you have PhD in a field of science, technology, engineering, or mathematics from accredited United States institution of higher education, you will be able to apply for your green card right away. Now let's talk about addressing visa backlogs. They are talking about people who are in processing for over 10 years. They will be able to apply for the green card right away. Eliminating employment-based per country levels. They want to eliminate the backlogs, specifically talking about the backlogs per country. This is something that was already proposed in the past. Moving on, increased immigrant visas for other workers. So guys, here, this is quite interesting. So in general, we do have the categories EB1, EB2, EB3, right? And you are probably familiar with EB5 as well, which is the investment visa program. So the EB5 program is not really shifting, changing. It's around 10,000 per year visas issued. When it comes to EB1, EB2, there is no change, but there is a change in EB3 category, and there is a jump from 10,000 to 40,000. Okay, so that's quite interesting. EB3 category has the biggest change. Flexible adjustment to employment-based immigrant visa program. So what this is about, basically, they are going to be collaborating. The Secretary of Homeland Security will be collaborating with Secretary of Labor, and they may establish by regulation procedure for temporarily limiting the admission of immigrants, specifically in geographic areas or labor market sectors that are experiencing high levels of unemployment. So yes, so if you live in a certain city location that is experiencing higher levels of unemployment, then obviously there is going to be a limit, and it's going to be rather limited, because what they want to offer opportunity for local citizens, right? However, this is quite interesting here. Regional economic development immigrant visa pilot program. So what this is about, basically, this is going to be a new pilot program where the secretary might establish pilot program for annual admission of not more than 10,000 admissible immigrants whose employment is essential to the economic development strategies of the cities or counties. So this means that if you are actually employed by employer and the operation is essential for improving the economy of that particular city or county, you're good to go. You can actually apply. So it's quite the opposite of what I said before. So they will be trying to kind of like allocate the immigration visas to sections, to countries, to geographic locations that really need that boost, right? And we'll see how this is gonna look like. You will need to apply for your labor certification, obviously, and this is not going to exceed 5 years. Now, wage-based consideration of temporary workers. So this is actually concerning H visa category, right? And it's basically talking about the regulations that will establish procedures for prioritizing such visas based on the wages offered by employers. So this looks similar to that rule, the H1B rule that is right now postponed till end of this year, and we'll see how this is going to exactly look like. Moving on, clarifying dual intent for post-secondary students. Now this one is huge, guys, because usually when you're applying for your student visa, F1 visa, you need to establish that you have intent to return back home, and therefore you need to establish also strong ties to your home country. So it looks like you go to US, you apply for a student visa, you go to US, you study in the US, and then you need to return back home, which in my opinion is a little bit ridiculous, because what's the point of studying in US if you then have to return back home, right? This is how it is right now under current immigration law, and what they are proposing is to actually change it to dual intent. So that being said, you won't have to establish strong ties to your home country, and you can have dual intent, meaning you can go to US for study and then eventually apply for your green card. Also, what they're talking about is that as you are under your F1 visa or your OPT and you have applied for your green card and your status is pending, and for example your current status F1 or OPT is about to expire, this will keep extending. You can keep extending your status until your green card is actually approved, which is a big deal because OPT status is usually 1 year long or 2 years, right? But you can keep extending it until your green card will be approved. And similar applies to L visa, by the way. Now, I mean, obviously under this reform, not under the current law, H4 visa program, they're proposing to include the employment authorization card. So that's the work permit for H4 spouses. And they also want to prevent the aging out situation. If you have a child, if you have a child who is your dependent and is under 21, you can bring the child with you to US, but the moment the child reaches 21 years of age, they need to change the status. So they kind of want to remove this, so the child is not under pressure to change the status from the dependent visa to, for example, student visa, because you don't want to separate families, right? So that's kind of the intent behind that. So that's pretty much that. What else we got here? Yeah, these are the extensions I was telling you about, right? The extensions when it comes to student visas, extension when it comes to L visas. Here you can see. Okay, so yeah, here you go. 1 year increment. 1 year increment until final decision is made. And it looks like it's also impacting here L visas and O visas as well. I wonder why is it not why is this reform not including E2 visas? Okay guys, so we pretty much covered this part. Now my opinion, because I work with mainly investors and entrepreneurs, I don't really see any changes for entrepreneurs in this reform, so I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest. However, still we are welcoming any changes, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and please do leave comments, questions below. I want to hear from you. What do you think about this reform? How are you perceiving this reform? And obviously there is a long way to go until this reform actually is approved and passes in Congress. So we'll see how things will look like and how everything will unfold. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Like I said, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for my upcoming videos. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Bye-bye.